I want my life to be legendary. I want you to remember me how I live.
Make her feel good.
I just smoked the soul drugs and smoked the soul drugs.
Her name is Anonymous.
But he did not call for all the king's horses, and he did not call for all the king's men.
Our enemy is ignorance and hatred.
Slow it down, slow it down.
You're not listening.
I've been showing people my scars.
Don't go away from me.
Hip-hop's a part of me.
The recycling the track. I aim the point shot. She learned to listen and follow my rules of commitment.
When I say CC, you say P. CC. CC. When I say drop the, you say Mike. Drop the. Drop the. When I say I love, you say poetry. I love. I love. Poetry. Give it up for drop the mic. Let's get it started.
Welcome to round 2 of the final showcase of Drop the Mic Season 3. Please give it up for yourselves for being here, for being part of round 2 final showcase. We are a 2-time Emmy-nominated show. Can we also have a round of applause for being 2-time Emmy-nominated? We are so blessed. We feel so blessed about that. So my name is Dr. Michelle Myers, and I'm Associate Professor here at Community College of Philadelphia. And we have a really amazing group of student poets who will be coming up to share their second poem. They already shared one poem during round 1. And so each of them will be coming back up. There are 12 poets who will be performing today. And just so that all of you are aware of the rules, as each student comes up and they share their poem, as soon as they begin to talk on the mic, their time will begin. And each poet has 3 minutes and 15 seconds to perform. If they go over 3 minutes and 15 seconds, they will have a penalty applied to their final score. So at the end of round 2, as the judges are tabulating the scores from round 1 and round 2, there will be a half a point deducted for each second a student poet goes over if they happen to go over 3 minutes and 15 seconds, okay? And the folks who will be deciding all of that are our amazing panel of judges. Please give it up for our judges over here. So introducing our judges, starting with the judge closest to the audience, we have Kevin Covington. Please give it up for Kevin. He is a support coach in the Center for Male Engagement here at Community College of Philadelphia. And next to Kevin, we have Elizabeth Catanese. Please give it up for Elizabeth. She is an assistant professor in the English department at Community College of Philadelphia. And next to Elizabeth, we have Alicia Dantzler. Please make some noise for Alicia. She is a graduate of Community College of Philadelphia, and she is also a poet who has made her mark here in the local Philadelphia poetry scene. And next to Alicia, we have DeForio Barlow. Please give it up for DeForio. He is a testing specialist in the assessment center here at Community College of Philadelphia. So are you all ready to hear some poetry? I'm so happy to hear that. Please make sure you keep that energy up for all of our poets. So the poet on deck is Black Cancer, and coming to the mic we have Dar the Poet. Please make some noise for Dar the Poet.
I write whatever it is that I feel that I need to write at that particular moment. And then once I put that period, believe it or not, I become the audience. The kaleidoscope of colors beaming so bright reminds one of a diamond shining in the light. Brilliance, strength, like a two-edged sword cutting through glass, trash, and a whole lot more. Captivating, smooth, pleasing to the eye, with the inside quality as innocent as a child. Makes one want to possess it, almost to adore it. The kaleidoscope of colors shining so bright, oh, it's as if the reflection is Jehovah's own light. The kaleidoscope of colors, it's a reflection of you as you impact others with all you do. The kaleidoscope of colors, it's my way to say thank you.
Please another round of applause for Dar the Poet. Kevin, you have some feedback?
Took me by surprise. I thought DeForio was going first. Okay, all right. No, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. Always great to see you on the stage. I love how you, great person to open up with too as well. Another piece, brought up a lot. I just thought it was going to go a little longer. said it took you 7 minutes to write, and I'm like, are we gonna get 7 minutes worth? So just next time, just if you can, just kind of stretch it out just a little bit. No. Thanks, though.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
Hey, I like the kaleidoscope. That was very cool. I think you could do even more with the kaleidoscope. Give us more of what happens with that kaleidoscope. Really empowering poem and really nice stage presence as always.
Thank you. Alicia.
I agree with Kevin and Elizabeth, but I will say I like the energy that you brought to the stage as well as just getting the audience riled up and then bringing something that's so, light and cheerful with the colors. I appreciate that.
Thank you. And DeForio.
I like your performance. I particularly like the way you deliver some of your lines, and I thought you did a good job today.
Thank you, judges. One more time, please, for Dar the Poet. So the poet on deck is Miss Dada-esque. Coming to the mic, we have Black Cancer. Please put your hands together for Black Cancer.
Because I got to perform, I got to get off a couple things, you know what I mean? And enjoy myself. I live in the moment. Dropping mic is dope as hell, so I enjoy myself whenever I do it.
See, I want her, but she needs me. I am her drug, huh? Coke fiend dreams she fantasizes about in all white. And see, she's my heroin user. Straight to the point with injecting me into a system like music to make her feel good. No bull smoke, she's my sexual crackhead. See, she got her classification dickhead blowing light scents in the air, but yet the aroma is far from erotic when we rockin'. Yeah, she blows me. I keep her wet, she smokes me. She's my huffer, inhaling me till she's out heaven. And listen, she's my pill abuser, popping me to release tension. See, it's similar to the way that I pop her, but only her. She swallowed tears of blood down her throat and into her stomach where I, drug infested, predicted to be deformed and abnormal, baby resting due to her compulsive drinking from depression, feeling miserable because she's supposedly neglected, but yet, kid, she says, I'm the cause of his born death and her lack of rest, her dual 25th happy birthday, bitch, and unhappiness when I pop her. I told her one time, I said, life, baby, fuck yours. Cause you say I be on some shit, bitch. My dick be up yours. So ain't it ironic when I say I love that ass? Got to do something when not only the conversations are dry, but regardless, don't you ever leave me. I won't let you, you're my TV. I got the control. Don't press my buttons and make me show you my channels of affection cause you refuse to, cause you want to be like Oprah and give me a talk show about my attitude correction had me stressing when in actuality I simply want you to mute the fuck up. That's why she popping volumes now. See, I'm her law. I regulate authority. Though in the dark I feel like I lose it, so in order for her misery to join my company, and because I don't want her to shine, I black her eyes in lights of her being just a little bit closer to me, and so she'll be able to see my perspective. And it has nothing to do with those 3 rappers on the door because the locks can be dropped from my entrance if she learned to listen and follow my rules of commitment. But she be tripping, that's why things get conflicted, so at times I gotta keep a watch on her as if she's ticking, cause that's my chicken. I am brutal love. Black Cancer, thank y'all.
Give it up one more time for Black Cancer.
Love our women, man.
Elizabeth, you have some feedback?
I think you took the advice from the last round really, really well, and you slowed it down. The metaphors were really working quite well, and I also liked how the gestures you were making punctuated the piece nicely.
Thank you. Alicia.
I got so caught up in the poem, I want to say like bad words to you, but it's just one of those things when you hear like poems like this, especially a person being able to embody such a, devious character, like a villain, and I'm like saying all the words in my head that I don't want, to say out loud, but dope performance overall.
Thank you. DeForio.
Yeah, I agree with Alicia. Really, really good performance. Very, very intense and purposeful. I think people, if they were not listening, they started to listen as soon as you got through that first line. Good job.
And Kevin.
Oh, you can clap. Go ahead. No, I just like the Foyer was saying, the intensity was there, man. I like the pauses and definitely the way that you closed it out. You took us on that ride, even though we may not have wanted to go, and the close just kind of gave us that, whew, damn. So, really good piece.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Black Cancer. So the poet on deck is Rujay Ballard. Coming to the mic, we have Miss Dada-esque. Please, put your hands together for Miss Dada-esque.
Today is it. This is the last time that the audience will hear us.
I want to sprinkle chocolates on the railroad. Imagine sinners have souls. Watch kin unite cross continents. Run through fields to arms. Sing you and me must part as the sun sets. Excuse me as I jump the scene. I want a gesture, a head tilt, a chin up, a sign from God. I hear a cry, a coo, a name, a sign from God, telling me it's okay to tell somebody but him. I want a sister to sing me blues with the shimmy and whisk me away until life do right by me.
Miss Dada-esque. Alicia, do you have some feedback?
Yeah. Make sure you close that like in there poem. I was waiting. I'm like, okay, where's the rest? Because I'm getting all into it. I see all the images from the movie in my head like popping up. I'm like, okay, where's the rest? I'm like sitting here rubbing my hands, waiting, and you step back. I'm like, oh. So just make sure you close your piece and sometimes like give us a little bit more,
Thank you. DeForio.
I thought you were better this time than you were last time, but I still thought like you were missing something. I still need you to work on your stage performance, all right?
Thank you. Kevin.
Yeah, it's a really good piece when people are like, we had to give you sure you're done? That's it? That's it? Because like Alicia, I think we both in the field kind of like hanging. And it's like, well, wait, she's coming back for us, right? Coming. Really good piece, though. Really good piece. But I would have wanted more, just a little bit. And it's kind of hard to ask an artist to do more when you feel as though it's finished, though. So I don't know anything. I'm just saying.
And Elizabeth.
I think you do a really good job of inhabiting different personas and expressing what those people feel, and I like your quiet confidence as well.
Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Miss Dada-esque. So the poet on deck is Logical, and coming to the mic we have Rujay Ballard. Please put your hands together for Rujay Ballard.
That's my first goal when doing poetry, that someone listens, someone hears me, take something away from my performance.
Dear future love, know that when I meet you, I won't be as open as I am now. For I will have fallen in love so many times that I know how the bottom feels when you fall too fast, when you've been shattered, made whole just to be broken again, and like many things that are used too much, I will be torn. But I hope you find home in me. For I've been a shelter for strangers, but never a home for lovers. They say that home is where the heart is, and I pray that one day you'll be able to carry my heart in your pocket. Carry it around so that I always have a home to go to. I will have given my last try to a previous relationship, but will give you my last breath if you are willing to do the same, so be patient with me. These wounds won't heal as fast as they used to, for I've known beautiful hurricanes with dark eyes and beautiful hair, and I'm still recovering from the last disaster, so I don't know when or if it'll ever be the same, but love me hard till I can't tell the difference between soulmate and obsessed. Be gentle with me, but get rough when needed. Put me in my place, but only if it's right beside you. I want to remind you of happiness. Let you know how much I love you, even if it means looking stupid. You will learn to find humiliation sexy. I want to be the reason why you smile every day, even when the weather isn't in your favor. I hope to give you the love I always wanted, unconditional, empowering, and inspirational. I want my love to feel like summer, hot and always daring. May the flame of our love forever burn, but leave no scars. May we find peace without starting war. Love, may you find your way to me before the path becomes more damaged than what it already is. Sincerely, your future love.
One more time for Rujay Ballard. DeFore, you have some feedback?
I think they did a good job, really good job. I was definitely more engaged this time. I think you really spoke your truth and from your heart, and that's important, and I think that really came across to the audience.
Thank you. Kevin.
I just love the voice, because every time you start off, it's like, wow, you can just hear it. And I really connected with the line, put me in my place, but only if it's right next to you. Yo. Yo, real nice piece.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
It was a really confident performance, and I liked within the poem there was a lot of imagery around weather that kind of came back, and I think even having another collection of images like that throughout the poem would enhance the poem even more. But I was, again, really compelled by this poem. You did a great job.
Thank you. And Alicia.
I love your poetry. I'm not like a huge love poem fan, but this was just one of those ones, I could definitely listen to this and read it. Be like quoting lines like like you had a lot of that in there, like quotable lines where you could be talking to your boo. You're like, I heard this poem, it reminded me of you. So you had that, and you definitely took the advice from the previous round as well.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Rujay Ballard. So the poet on deck is Meek Boss. And coming to the mic, we have Logical. Please make some noise for Logical.
Once you get past that first round, I don't know, it's like a euphoria almost for an artist. You're just like, all right, cool, I'm ready, I'm here, I'll do better.
See, I'm really just trying to survive, but I'm relying on the money of people that pass by. I can't figure out why I'm getting an evil eye, and I promise I'm really hungry, no plans of getting high, but hi. Yeah, I'm a human, nice to meet you. And if I had a shower, my odor would never reach you. Yeah, I know I'm smelly, does telling me really please you, because in the game of life ain't no showers up on the bleachers. Moving on, I got a lot to say. I sit and wonder who wonders, how did I get this way? Am I just another bum or a special case? Is my problem systematic or my own mistakes? Wait, so before you keep walking by and just continue with your life, I got to ask you why. The amount of vacant homes is triple the eye. If there's an American dream, where's my piece of the pie? I know, panhandling, so how do you determine who's real and who's scamming it? I mean, some collect a check, food stamps, and go and scam again. The thing that I could tell you for sure is that's a small percent. It doesn't happen every day, and even if it does, there has to be another way. We can't just allow poor people to pass away. We may not have a lot of money, but we've got to have a say, right? Nobody cares when we get murdered, raped, marginalized, beaten, abused, deserted. Any stereotype, save it. Trust me, I heard it, but how do you tell a vet or a little kid that they're worthless? Wait, although your donations are really needed, or your community service hours are now completed, or every Thanksgiving you service and watch us eat it, I'm thankful, I really mean it, but the issue ain't defeated, no. And you still didn't ask me how I got here. Your arrogance is real apparent, so it's quite clear. You put the burden on the homeless and it's not fair. I got a story I could tell, does anybody care? You just stick to your assumptions and let them hang over me like alcohol consumption. You folks are really front men. How do you claim to love God, see me dying, and not turn around and do something? Listen, I'm a soldier, I'm a friend, a victim of abuse who's looking for love again.
An out-of-work teacher, a master of medicine, a survivor from a disaster, a bastard without a kin. I'm you. So the next time that a homeless person asks if you can spare some change, try to remember that money isn't the only thing we need. Thank you.
Keep your applause going for Logical. Kevin, you have some feedback.
Some? Yeah, whole it's no wonder why you've gotten to the finals, man. Your pieces speak for themselves. And then listening to that, like I talked about before, you allow us to kind of go behind the curtain to see another side, or at least give us another perspective. And your piece reminded me of Arrested Development's Mr. Wendell, where he kind of talks about what must be going through a homeless person's mind, and nobody really talks about that. So I think that is really, really good piece, man. I just love the way you delivered it. Thanks.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
It's another really important poem. We've had so many important poems in this competition, so I'm just really impressed. I liked the moment when you said, I am you, and sort of slowed down to say that. Really powerful.
Thank you. Alicia.
I know that you're a dope poet. I see that in like everything that you do, and everything that you do is meaningful. I would kind of want to see you embody this homeless person and actually perform as that person. Just because I know that you got the bars, I know you got the lyric. I would want to see you. How would that look if you were to embody that person?
Thank you. And DeForio.
I was basically imagining any homeless person that you can walk by, really saying that to those of us who pass by them on a daily basis. That's how deep it was to me.
Thank you, judges. Please put your hands together one more time for Logical. So after our next poet, we're going to have a very special performance by our feature poet, and our feature poet today is Philadelphia's Poet Laureate, Yolanda Wisher. Please give it up for Yolanda Wisher. She's going to come on after our next student poet, and then after Yolanda, the student poet on deck is Jay Thorne. But coming to the mic, we have Meek Boss. Please make some noise for Meek Boss.
So I'm just gonna end it with a little tribute to somebody special in my life, man. We'll see how they take it. Mama, mama, you know I love you. Oh, you know I love you, mama. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. Your love is like tears from the stars. And mama, I just want you to know that I wanted to take this time out to represent, to truly thank you. You're an angel heaven sent. I look back on all that bullshit I put you through, all your heartaches, from me living that life I was into. Mom, I'm sorry. I swear my head wasn't right. I just smoked and sold drugs and smoked and sold drugs and smoked all day and night. And robbing corner stores was part of how I was getting by, contemplating suicide. So I got high. You tried everything, but could never get through to me, constantly telling me what them drugs would do to me. And Pops gave up, eventually put me out the crib. He made me woman up and learn from all that shit I did. You prayed for me, especially the nights I stayed out. I remember days of you crying relentless, from nightmares of me laid out. Your baby girl, the one you prepped for them spelling bees. I'm too cool for school, Mom. That's what them drugs was telling me. You did everything in your power to try to keep me, yet I was still a regular at the speakeasy. I went from being a role model to blunts and cigarettes, living my life out of fifth of an E&J bottle. So one day, I got tired of chasing them slow bucks, and your motivation was key to making me grow up. And just then, I realized all them drugs and money really played me, but your unconditional love, Mom, that's what truly saved me. And just when I almost deprived myself of knowledge, here I stand on Drop the Mic, a student at community college. And it's all for you, Mom. 'Cause loving you was like food to my soul. I'm Meek Boss.
Give it up one more time for Meek Boss. Elizabeth, you have some feedback?
I was really moved by that. I loved how you took out your ID at the end. It was just a really powerful ending. Wonderful job.
Thank you, Alicia.
I feel like you're like this hood storyteller, and I like it. Like, I like that you're like a person that you can have a conversation with because you're very vulnerable, and you can also learn from. And I think that you're very sincere, and that comes through all your pieces.
Thank you, DeForio.
I think there's a lot of truth in what you say. I think people can relate to your truth. I think there's nothing to be ashamed about for your truth, and you really, really lay that out on the line.
Thank you. Kevin.
I just like the way you keep challenging what other people may be thinking, and you just bring it. And each time you stepped on the stage today, it's like you may have been thinking one thing, but then you deliver something else. I mean, even with the whole Boys to Men thing, it's like you had everybody rocking for a minute. It's like, all right, got you. Good piece, really good piece.
Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Meek Boss. So the poet on deck is Gavin. And coming to the mic, we have Jay Thorne. Please make some noise for Jay Thorne.
Like, everybody's human. Like, they have their own demons. Is like finding a way to let it go is, I guess, a one way of recovery.
Is that pride in your heart covering who you are? It's who you want to be at the bottom of that bottle. You're just creating new scars, cutting your skin. It's like paper, it's so thin. You're destroying your beauty by destroying your image. You're beating yourself black and blue until your soul is finished. Don't let opinions cover who you are. Just wear your pride over your heart like a new cover star. 15 years old, so young and so bold. Torn down by society that views were so old. Tried to beat me down till my soul was nothing. Now I'm standing tall like a mountain. Yeah, that's something. Letting your words go in one ear, out the other. Making your tactics bounce off like rubber. If I had a nickel every time I heard my family say she instead of they, I'd be going to a vacation in Spanish Palma Bay. Hey. Your ignorance gets to me. I used to hide my emotions by drinking liquor till it's empty. Is that pride in your heart covering who you are? It's who you want to be at the bottom of that bottle. Let society be your step as high as you want to. Be your king, be your own king and queen, whoever you want to. Don't let that crown tip any further. Be a leader, not a follower. Be solid, not hollow. Don't let that bottle be your crutch. Lose the bottle. Be passionate about what you love. If you love being called they instead of she, don't let that part of you leave. Let the innards of a person's knowledge be. They are close to the obvious eye that everyone can see. Thank you.
Jay Thorne. Alicia, you have some feedback?
Yes. I think this was my favorite poem from you. I would say just remember to take your time. You're saying a lot of things that need to be heard. Make sure we hear them.
Thank you. DeForio.
My comments were pretty much the same. Don't rush through. Let your words sink in so people can hear you, understand you, and follow you. All right?
Kevin.
Yeah, definitely a really good piece. I would definitely say, like they said before, just watch your pace and use those pauses to kind of like DeForio said, let us kind of digest what you just gave us, because you're hitting us with a whole lot, and we're like, ooh, 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 and then you move on to another one. So, and just relax. I know it's hard to say with the light shining in your face, the mic on, the cameras, but relax.
And Elizabeth.
It's a really excellent poem. I think another important poem about gender pronouns, preferred gender pronouns, as well as the way that people mistreat us can lead to addictions and other types of behavior like that. And I think that this was a much more confident performance than any of your other performances. And you did a great job.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Jay Thorne. So the poet on deck is Nah Money, and coming to the mic we have Gavin. Please put your hands together for Gavin.
This was my first poetry slam. I didn't know that it was going to be such a big deal, and then it turned out to be such a big deal.
Where are your happy poems, child? Bitch, I did not leave them at home, swept underneath my rug, hidden beneath my bed. No, they just don't exist. For everyone is born with emotional vases, I know because I've seen them, and my favorite kinds of people who protect their feelings behind only a glass ribcage, live life as a beautiful floral bouquet. I wish I was one of them. There are others that house their emotions, hidden, separate, entombed, in a canopic jar, living life already mummified, wrapped in emotional tourniquets. I wish I was one of them. My joy jar just broke. I think it must have happened when my mama hugged me too tight. She had a special way with hugs. She could hug you using only one hand. She could hug you only by your throat, could hug a 7th grader firmly against car window. I rebuilt my jar, trying to add beauty with golden seams, but it seems that my jar has just broken again. I think it must have happened when my dad pushed me down the stairs. I said, I think it must have happened when my dad pushed me down the stairs. He called me Humpty Dumpty, but he did not call for all the king's horses, and he did not call for all the king's men. No, he just pushed me down again, down until I stayed down, had to crawl out that house, bloodying my knees on happy pieces. I dug every shrapnel shard out with dull finger blade nails, reconstructed my jar on a much smaller scale. Shiny gold welding, holding it together. I poured sand in it, a test, and watched as my chance at happiness trickle out full at my feet. I gave my jar to my lover and asked him to help me find my happiness leak. He's yet to return it to me, so now too many pieces missing, too little to hold anything. The closest I get to joy is the purple hair that makes others smile, but there is no joy in this vessel. It is not locked away, hidden, nor entombed, waiting for someone to set it free. I said that there is no joy in this goddamned vessel, so stop asking for happy poems from me. If there were even a grain of good feeling, I wouldn't wonder what it feels like. And I might ask you to loan me some of yours so I could know. But the body attacks foreign objects, foreign feelings, so I would just end up pouring your happiness out.
Another round of applause for Gavin. To forward, you have some feedback?
Briefly, just one talented vessel.
Thank you. Kevin.
This is probably their strongest performance I've seen, and you almost create a whole new genre where you can take pain and make it creative and accessible, and it's like, wow, should I be enjoying this? This is really bad, but you're like, yeah. So, damn. Really good piece, really good piece.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
And the way that you perform allows us to go through many different emotional registers. So I think that the metaphors that you use ground us, and then the different voices that are the child perspective take us to this different place, and then it is very varied, very textured, and extremely powerful.
Thank you. And Alicia.
This is going to sound like a random thought, but it's really not random. So when you started, you were like, sorry for like not having happy poems. I had like Beyonce playing in my head, like, I ain't sorry. Like that was the whole thing. That was like a real thing. I think something about your style is very unique, and at the end of the day, you perform for yourself and to give back to others. So it's about what you do and how you do it, and you do it very well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, judges. Please put your hands together one more time for Gavin. So the poet on deck is nonfiction, and coming to the mic we have Nah Money. Please make some noise for Nah Money.
This time I'm going to dig reverie, and I'm going to try to bring out a lot of deep emotions that I've been hiding for years. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm gonna read from my diary, okay? I'm fucked up. You're thinking how, what, when, how? How long do you have? Look, I was born here in Philly. Me, not money. Down the street in North Philly. I even went to daycare right up here on Green Street. 5 years old is when that older girl raped me. I'm fucked up. I didn't tell my mother until I was 23, and I just laughed it off and told her I'm just happy it wasn't a man. It would have been worse for me. Yeah, I know I'm fucked up. Let's rewind back to an older brother used to really fuck me up because he was jealous that dad's prodigy, me, he loved me so much that wait till dad leave. So let's fast forward when I was 18. I aimed a point shot and point right at my brother's head, and I just missed him. Why? Because I'm fucked up. Let's rewind back to 1 to 9. I learned in Philly, any disrespect, you have to cancel right away. No waiting, no procrastinating, because if you don't, you're food. So family or foe, you have to cancel immediately. I'm fucked up, and I know it. So let's fast forward back to 18 again. Big brother first pointed a gun at me. It was just I was willing to put him in the dirt first. I watched his mom cry. I watched people around us watch me surprised. I watched my best friend who was like a brother say, you know Nah does that. You know Nah a snap, he goes black. Why did you do that? Let's rewind back again, 1 to 9. I remember my mom used to beat me, and she didn't physically abuse me, but she mentally abused me by the look in her eyes. For her to get the courage to beat me, she had to think of things that made her mad. I remember seeing the hate in her eyes that turned red like ketchup when she looked at me. And I'm like, Ma, do you even love me? And I got no response. Because my mom fucked up. So I'm fucked up. I learned 2 years ago that why she was fucked up. Now, that's not none of y'all business because that's my mom, but when her elder son got shot up, she held me down. So I know she loved me, but she just fucked up. Now let's rewind back to back when my brother and my mom abused me. I learned how to survive in the streets. I was bigger, I was stronger than everybody that came against me. So, though we all fucked up, it made me the man I am today. Like, I do sense of humor to get away from my pain. And this is why I'm fucked up.
Nah Money. Kevin, you have some feedback?
Always off the tough ones. It's my turn to talk first, man. This was a tough piece, Not Money. But what I really enjoyed about the piece was your transitions, how you allowed us to go from childhood to adulthood, then back to childhood, and talking about how different things happen to kind of form where they are. So I like the fact that how you took us on this painful journey. So real good piece.
I wish I had more time.
3:15, man.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
I loved how the piece was very specific and how vulnerable you allowed yourself to be on stage. That's a huge gift to everyone. I would just say to work on polishing the poem a little bit more and being sure of which of the instances you're going to talk about. But you have really, really important things to say, and I'm so glad that you're in this competition.
Thank you. Alicia.
So one of the things that I learned as a poet over the past 10 years is, like, this isn't something that I would want to give you a critique on. I feel like this was for you. So I can't necessarily give you a critique on you sharing something with us when you're doing it for, I feel like it's for your relief to get it off your chest. So I don't really have a critique.
I understand. Thank you.
Thank you. And DeForio.
I think it's very difficult to share trauma, but I also think it's very therapeutic when you share trauma. So I think you can still work and continue to be your own therapy if need be, and it'll help you get through.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Nah Money. So the poet on deck is Stevie Purnell, but coming to the mic, we have nonfiction. Please make some noise for nonfiction.
In the second round, I'm doing more so a performance piece, so I need the fire that I took from the first round. I need that to keep going so I can perform my second piece without being too nervous.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the circus. feel free to check out our petting zoo. And don't forget to check back in for our most exciting show where we make a raccoon and a monkey fight a group of pigs. What do you want, kid? Why? Why what? Why must we degrade ourselves to animals? Do we not have more respect and dignity for ourselves? Are we not more civilized? Kid, move. I'm just giving the public what they want. This is what you guys like, right? To call each other animals and watch them fight savagely. And if you're lucky, it'll end up on social media so that others can watch you get savagely beaten too. I'm simply adhering to your own standards. But this is not me. This is not us. I am not a fucking animal. And you're right, it's not. But it has become you. The fire of desensitization to ignorance has consumed the minds of many. I simply just prey on the minds of those who've been consumed. Whether it be monkeys fighting monkeys or monkeys and coons fighting pigs, this is what America has become, hasn't it? Surely you must have hatred too for the pigs in black and blue. No, for a policeman is only their occupation, but being one has lost its appreciation, its value. I remember a day where a kid would have loved to wear a policeman's hat. They looked up to them, admired them, appreciated their service. But now all people feel towards them is hatred because our children are being spoon-fed hatred because you've been fed the same. Hate only brings more hate. And being black has lost its value too. Boy, if our black civil rights leaders saw us today, they'd be turning in their damn graves. And now, we are the one, no, they tried to stop injustice done to us by others, and now we are doing injustice to ourselves. We have accepted that being less than our full potential is okay, that shooting and killing our own for stupid reasons is okay, that allowing our younger generation to walk down the same paths that we have is okay, when it's not. So stop the circus act, because I am not an animal. Well, I won't stop unless y'all do. Guns don't shoot unless they have ammunition, right? Acting like goddamn animals out there in the streets, and it's my fault for showing you what you have become? Tell me, kid, who's the real bad guy here? The coon that stole something or the pig that shot him? And that's where we have become mistaken. We cannot do what has been done to us. Their uniform is not our enemy. Them as a whole is not our enemy. For our enemy is ignorance and hatred. And we are on a path to destruction, and I fear we won't make it until a day where we are spoon-fed love instead of past hatred. I pledge allegiance to this fist that represents black love and black pride. And I also acknowledge that all lives matter too, because my compassion will never die.
Keep your applause going for nonfiction. Elizabeth, you have some feedback?
Such a powerful piece. I loved the circus act at the beginning, how you carried that through. Some of the lines were just incredible, and I hope lots of people hear your performance. I pray on the minds who have been consumed was particularly insightful. Wonderful work. Wonderful job.
Thank you. Alicia?
I liked how you set the poem up, and I like your passion behind what you're saying, and as well as how you deliver it is the fact that you're reading, but you're still very much in tune with your audience.
Thank you. DeForio?
Life is definitely like a circus, and you brought that to light in your piece. I thought it was going to be light and airy, and it turned out to be really, really deep and honest.
Thank you. And Kevin?
Yeah, I thought for me the intro was good. It's a good intro. I think you got to the meat of it after about a minute or so. So for me, I think if you would shorten the intro, this is just me. If you just kind of shorten the intro and just got right to the heart of it, because as you went on, it got really, really deep, and you started to see. But I guess, to understand the circus metaphor, you had to have the intro. My feedback would be just kind of shorten that and then go with the rest of it.
Thank you, judges. Please put your hands together one more time for nonfiction. So the poet on deck is Ills Wills, and coming to the mic we have Stevie Purnell. Please put your hands together for Stevie Purnell.
I was really nervous. I didn't really want to get on stage and say anything. I was about to just leave. But now I feel pretty confident. Like, okay, I did a show, I went through it, and I finished it. So now I feel like, okay, maybe I can do another one.
My mama. She was glorious to me. Although I did not know her yet, I soon began to. I realized the only thing she had ever given me was my name, Stevie. And if you don't like it, please let me know now. A common line I'd use to men who'd insist on calling me anything but my name. Barry was yours, and I'd wish that it'd been mine. I thought it so pretty. My mama. I loved how she so carefully set us on my grandmother's doorstep. I love how she told us she cared, yet wouldn't see her for weeks. How these streets and pipes under the influence, you tell me you love me. Drunken people don't always tell the truth. These drugs were more important than us, than me. How these men who pierced your soul but never penetrated your mind, stubborn. Another gift from God, he has blessed me with of yours. But he knew I'd be able to handle it a little better than you could. High school now, I know what's up, I know what's down, and I know who's around. Not my mama. But I still feel like that sad little girl sitting on Nanny and Poppy's steps, waiting for you to take me to the movies with pigtails pulled back so tightly I could have cried, not because of the loss of blood to my brain, but because of the absence of my mother stained. Mama. I'm trying to tell you a story through my poems, but you're not listening. I do not mean to be disrespectful, Mama. Listen. Listen.
One more time for Stevie Purnell. DeForio.
So I go beyond the poetry realm of it, and I'm listening to your voice and I'm thinking there are bigger things on the horizon. I think voiceover, I think your voice is very, very natural. I think that your voice is very, very recognizable, and I think that anything that you did outside of poetry, people will know who you are.
Thank you. Kevin.
Yeah, I think when I hear your voice, I kind of get lulled into thinking I'm going to hear something light, and then you turn that corner. It's like, oh, whoa, buckle up. We're going somewhere. Once again, another really good piece, and like DeForio said, you just have a distinctive voice that makes you listen, regardless. I mean, you could have stood up there and did the ABCs, and we would still be like, so, really good piece.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
I loved how you allowed yourself to be emotional with the poem. That made it very powerful for us. And at the beginning, you were doing something interesting with a kind of fragmentation of voices where there was a direct address to the mother, and then we were back in the child perspective, and it was kind of broken in a way that was emotionally powerful. So I think even doing some more of that throughout the poem would be great. Good job.
And Alicia.
I like the fact that it was very emotional, but to a sense with your voice as well as the choice of words that you chose, it was still very innocent, as if it's a child that's delivering, like you want this person to hear, you want this mother to hear, but I'm still not accusing you of things. It was very innocent, as if coming from a child.
Thank you so much, judges. Please, one more time for Stevie Purnell. And our last poet, closing out round 2 of the final showcase of Drop the Mic, is Ills Wills. Please make some noise for Ills Wills.
The new breeze coming in, like, okay, you guys are doing this too? Like, I guess I have something to look forward to, something to motivate me as well.
I never thought I'd have HIV. And if I did get it, I didn't think that it would last, because I always knew Dr. Sabi. Rest in peace, King, I didn't notice you passed. Plus, I didn't hear or see anything about you being in jail or anything like that. But with the mention of your death, it made me venture into your past. It said that you was once overweight. Around the age 30 or 35 is when you changed all that. It said that a Spanish-speaking being showed you the way. Listen, it doesn't matter the vessel, it just matters that it catches you, and I'm just happy that you noticed it was special. because the information you bestowed helped elevate my soul. So thank you, Dr. Sabi. Rest in peace, King. I didn't notice you passed. But now conspiracy theories come with all of the facts. The pills say don't jump to conclusions, and young Pharaoh said fuck all that. And Sister Ajali, she said you was killed. I'm Ills Wills, I don't know how to react, so until I'ma just yell, rest in peace, Dr. Sabi. Rest in peace, King. I didn't notice you passed. However, I am hip to the recent doctors that are afraid to say that they can cure diseases, and how the powers that be make it difficult to obtain pure ingredients, elements that will repair your body back into a whole entity. Holistically speaking, medicines, they don't cure diseases, they just treat it. Meaning junk food is what they feed it until it grows like an unhealthy fetus, and you're enabling the inevitable by what you're eating. If you're consuming vacant blood cells, and you're just creating a clubhouse for leeches and negative demons to dwell. And frequency, eating meat, it increases your chances of getting different cancers and diseases, and having a high alkaline diet depletes it. So rest in peace, or rest in pieces, and rest in peace, Corinne Gaines. You know that whole goddamn situation? And how she was with a black child, and if he would have been white, then it would have been a hostage situation. And why am I contemplating that it's not the cops being racist or the cops being dumb, or Corinne's shotgun, but the lead noises from the lead poison, which is the real reason for her demeanor and behavior. They say you can't fight fire with fire. Well, why would you use lead to diffuse lead-fueled anger? So rest in peace, Corinne Gaines. Say her name if you know that she passed, and rest in peace, Dr. Sabi. Spelled S-E-B-I. Ain't no town like your hometown. It goes down in your hometown. You picked the wrong time. Later, if you call, I'll probably pick it up, because right now my hands is all tied. Working for the man, got my plans in a hog tied. No days all feel like I'm doing hard time. No disrespectful people, that is. From what I hear, them motherfuckers willing lynching your kids. Even women get bids. Man, shout out to Asada. Not a lot of people know she got booked for doing nada. I'm escaping this prison that I'm in now. People worried about color, the whole world is a prison. It's either that or they worldly possessions. Everything that I see is a lesson. When I learn, it's a blessing. So ain't no town like your hometown. It goes down in your hometown. Thank you. Ills Wills, follow me if you can find me. I-double-L-Z-W-I-double-L-Z. In the meanwhile.
One more time for Ills Wills. Kevin, you have some feedback?
I'm gonna take a page from DeForio's book, and I'm looking outside of the poetry, and I'd say there's a classroom right now in Philly that needs Ills Wills in that classroom. So I don't know what your plan is, but I'm just saying at some point you need to speak into these young brothers and sisters' lives. Great piece, man.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
I love how you started with an anecdote and then you moved into the really important social critique. Really nice poem.
Thank you, Alicia.
I'm gonna call you. No, I'm not gonna call you. I'm gonna call you your name. But you always giving us these 2-for-1 specials that I could just really appreciate. And then on top of that, hold on, I wrote some stuff down. All right, so your flow is dope, and you were talking about topics that needs to be talked about. I feel like we often look at one side of things, but poetry give you another perspective and another lens, and you gave that to us today as well.
Thank you, and DeForio.
Just the funny part is I hit Alicia. I was like, is that a 2-for-1? And she's like, yeah. So I like the 2-for-1. I'm good with that. Good job.
Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Ills Wills. And can we also give it up for all of our poets who performed this afternoon? That brings round 2 to a close. We're going to turn it over to our judges who are going to tally round 1 and round 2. But right now, we're actually going to have our poet laureate, our feature poet, come back up to the mic. So please, one more time for Yolanda Wisher.
Blood, pride, mahogany, athleticism, wanderlust, low simmer rage, men beating on women, getting knocked up young, giving up on dreams, lazy eyes, second sight, fear of flying, telling stories, fibroids and hysterectomies, war, singing, loneliness, lost love, playing cards, sinners getting saved, burning in the kitchen, good hair, nappy hair, little titties and big hips, big cheeks and aristocratic noses, Arawak and Cherokee, vinyl records, crochet blankets, cancer, bibliophilia, superstitions, closed-lip smiles, bad teeth, dreadlocks, small hands, guitars, big foreheads, bad tempers, Shenandoah, cast iron, extravagant names, coke, weed, wit. Thank you. Y'all are a great audience, by the way. Thanks for being here today. This is called Tin Woman's Lament, and it's a nod to everybody always says it's the Wizard of Oz, but the Wizard of Oz was not my first Wizard of Oz. The Wiz was my first Wizard of Oz. Before I knew about Judy, I knew about Diana. I'd rather have an agogo for a heart, a djembe for a heart, gramophone for a heart, bison bone for a heart, dandelion spore for a heart, sweet cream butter for a heart. I'd rather have a mason jar for a heart, an ashtray for a heart, a plate of liver for a heart, a lawn mower for my heart, Jezebel for my heart. Instead of this flesh and blood which mars my sheets, instead of this archive that clogs my toilet, instead of this flea-bitten attic full of raccoons, instead of this envelope that arrives already open, instead of this light bulb that rattles on the inside, instead of this TV box that draws attention on trash day, instead of this wart that only responds to rain, instead of this colander that never catches the grit, I'd rather have a heart born from the lust between a sonnet and a blues song, a Coleridge wild weed hoochie coochie heart, a wee real cool heart aboard the impossible spawn of slave ships, an undying maroon, eternally brown in the Black Hills heart. I'd rather have a heart that beats, that beats, that beats, that beats.
Give it up one more time, please, for Yolanda Wisher. We're just so honored that she's able to be here to bless the mic for us. So thank you all for being here, for being part of our audience. Please give it up for yourselves, for being a wonderful, wonderful audience, so supportive of all of our poets. At this particular time, I'd actually like to ask all of our poets who performed today to please come up onto the stage and give them all a round of applause. They were amazing. Sixth place is Meek Boss. Please give it up for Meek Boss. Fifth place is Rujay Ballard. Please show your love for Rujay Ballard. Fourth place is Gavin. Please make some noise for Gavin. Now I'm about to announce our top three. So all of the gift cards that were provided for our top three winners were given to us by Student Life. So please can we also have a round of applause for Student Life for supporting Drop the Mic. So our third place winner and the winner of a $50 Barnes & Noble gift card is Black Cancer. Please show your love for Black Cancer. Second place and the winner of a $100 gift card for Barnes & Noble is Ills Wills. Put your hands together for Ills Wills. And our first place winner and the winner of a $200 Barnes & Noble gift card is Logical. Please put your hands together, make lots of noise for Logical. One more time for all of our poets, everyone. Drop the Mic Season 3. Thank you all so much. Have a great afternoon and a good night.